Well, we're in the village of Ingham, just outside Bury St Edmunds, and this is the church of St Bartholomew. And just see it, look, peeking up over the trees. Let's have a walk down here. Oh, it's a very busy road. It's on a very, very busy road. But they still managed to get these beautiful little pots each side, look. They're beautiful, eh? And they've got iron gates. Lovely driveway. Oh, and look at that. That's an impressive sight. Just looks really smart with that driveway and the trees each side. But actually, I'd like to just point out one thing. We've got a wheelie bin. And here we've got a light. I think we'll just stroll down this path a minute. So we're here underneath the tower, and the door of the church is open, so I'm hoping we'll be able to go inside in a minute. But if we look over here on the churchyard, which is very, very neat, very well kept. Look at it. It's quite windy today. So we'll have a look at this sheltered area. Oh, look at all these. Lots of old headstones here, look. This is a very elegant grave. Look at this. In the tender, loving memory of William Reginald Smith, who died February the 14th, 1907, aged 33 years. And his wife, Edna, who died in 1968. That's amazing. Wow, that's amazing. He died in 1907, and his wife, remind you, he was only 33. Oh, isn't that sad? And here we've got a large number of headstones. Most of them here underneath this tree. Oh, look at this. Even with the traffic sort of belting by here, there's still a sereneness and quietness about this churchyard. It's satisfying just walking around. Oh, it extends right away, all the way over there. Oh, look down here. And footsteps here are crunching away in the dead leaves and branches that are underneath this tree. And you can look down and see all the area of the churchyard that's lit up by this very bright sun today. Very, very hot day today here in just the end of June. Last day of June, actually, 2015. Let's have a look. I think we'll walk down to the other part of the churchyard. But before we do, we'll just turn and have a look at this church from here. That's a very smart church. I mean, the tower looks beautiful in the full sunlight. The top looks as if it was either rebuilt or perhaps added on. Don't know, it looks different, it looks newer. Maybe it's just been repaired. The end bit, the end extension looks also Victorian to me, but I'm certainly wrong about that. It's got a nice porch there. Though there is an entrance in the front, which is, the door's open. That's not normal, but we'll find out in a minute. Let's have a look down the other end, because there's this massive memorial down here. We'll have a look. Well, this is sobering and sad moment, just standing here looking at this. This is a memorial to the First World War dead. graves here are all in the First World War. If I just take this one, say, at random. Private R. Smith, Seaforth Highlanders, 20th of August 1916, age 32. So sad, isn't it? Terrible. And here we've got a fabulous looking churchyard which has got almost strategically placed headstones, all different shapes and sizes and leaning all over the place. The light on them and the shadows are beautiful. There's a lovely bench over there. Maybe we'll just have a stroll there and sit down for a second, have a look at this churchyard. You see the tower there, we've got the shadow behind the back of it. It looks beautiful. Got a lovely bench here, sitting in the sun. Ah, look. So straight ahead of us there we've got this little group of graves and memorial to the First World War. Somehow that's just one of the saddest I've seen, and they're in every churchyard and they're all sad, but I don't know. Got houses beyond the churchyard there. They run along the main road here of the village. And we've got all these graves here at the back. Have a look at this wall here, the flint. It's absolutely gorgeous. You don't see enough walls like this. All the flint is laid in the mortar, and got some broken and snapped, and different coloured bits of sort of stone almost. And all of this flint will have been retrieved from local fields. Got ivy growing up, it's just wonderful. All set in the stone here. Look at this, different colours, it's just fabulous. Beautiful headstones here, and we've got some over there in the shade of that tree. It's a real haven here from the hustle and bustle of that busy road. And here at the back of the church we've got this big headstone just behind where the altar is. Looks like a plain glass window there. You hear the birds singing. This side of the churchyard is completely clear of headstones, and it looks almost like a little garden because got a green shed there, houses beyond the boundary, and a nice almost lawn, well kept lawn. Maybe they have a fete here or two. Somebody looks after this grass, it's been well cut. There's no windows on this side here, on this extension. And then you come round a bit further and there's one really large one there. You see that tower where the top half is different. And then again we've got this porch which has a flint wall, which obviously done fairly recently. Certainly different to the rest. All of that looks fairly new. 20th century by the look of it. It's in lovely condition, this church. Nice dado design running down the bottom. the bottom of the tower, and this is the first church that I've been into around this area here, where we actually come in through the bottom of the tower. The door is already open, and there's two modern doors here. We come through a small section underneath the tower, which is fairly modern, and it's full of leaflets and information, the sort of things that you would normally have in the porch of a church. A small little door here, which I think is probably the access to the actual tower itself. And we've got modern doors, so this area has been completely modernized, and we walk in to find a totally different kind of church. I'm standing here with my back to the tower, or the entrance to the church, which is now one big area. There are no pews to speak of. We've got a door here that goes out to the porch. There is another porch entrance on that side, or a little extension room. There's a memorial up there. We've got 4 windows here in this area, which are all plain glass. Then over here, another wooden door to another porch, but that is fairly new, I would think. A memorial there. Over here we've got the font, which looks very old. That's a lovely top. And here in this really impressive wooden sort of presentation board is a roll of honor that relates to the First War, the Great War as they call it, the 1419 war, as it's shown in this case. Little bars here. So if we look here, we can see, or get an indication of what this church must have been looked like in previous years, when it had old pews and everything else. It looks fairly modern now, with a carpet in the middle on top of these bricks. These are typical floor bricks of the area, and in fact they would have been probably made in a village not very far from here, a few miles from here. I think they were possibly made in Culford. Little vase of flowers there, and just absolutely plain glass, leaded plain. And then we've got an organ here. Beautiful little arrangement of flowers there. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Aren't they just lovely? It's a lovely old organ. I do like these organs. And if we look down, we've got the remnants of probably what this church may have looked like. There's a pattern that runs through that would have been the main aisle pattern, that probably ran all the rest of the way. Now there's an unusual feature. There's a cross. An old wooden cross on the brick floor with stones. Very artistically done. And the church is lovely the way it's painted again. We've got the walls painted a lovely cream, and the edges of the alcoves picked out where the stonework is. We just step up here to this area in front of the altar. We've got carpet almost covering the whole floor. We've got the remnants of what were the pews, I guess. And we've got a wooden ceiling. Actually, very nice old ceiling. And memorials there. They're all round. And the end wall is painted a deep wine colour. It's quite impressive actually against that plainness of all the other walls, and highlighting the stone on the edges and the glazing bars. And then you've got that absolutely clean, plain glass. And look at the scene behind. Blue sky, green trees. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Simplicity, actually beautiful. I do like that. And we come up to this altar. You've got wooden paneling behind it. Got a cross here. Two lovely vases. Flowers. Candles. It's an old chair. These are very nice, look. They're wood. Painted. So we stand here, our backs to the altar, and just before we have a look really, we got this beautiful tiled floor. That's rather nice, isn't it? Tiles over there, so I guess this gives an indication of what the floor was like beforehand. But they've got carpet down here now and wood. But look at that. What a vast space. So clean, and it's very modern. And yet it's an old church. The tower has been utilised very well actually as an entrance. And the window in the tower now is framed by that inner arch. The ceiling, which has all been covered, clad over and plastered. And the walls are all painted in a lovely shade of cream. It's a very nice space actually. So as we walk back down here, it's difficult to know what this church is used for. The feeling is that it's more of a community hall than a religious church. And maybe that's a better use for it, but I hope I'm not saying the wrong thing here. But it is an unusual church, and certainly very attractive as a community hall. And this is odd, isn't it? Underneath this medieval arch we walk through, and we come face to face with public toilets. Now really, that is a very intelligent, useful purpose and use for church, I think. So we'll just walk back out into this quite modern interior here. Out through the door, which is open, and into the absolute bright sunshine and all the vehicles running past us on that road. So, that's St. Bartholomew's in the little village, the very busy little village by the sound of it, of Ingham, just outside Bury St Edmunds. Unusual church, absolutely immaculate outside, and inside is wonderful because it's just a real community space or community building. Fantastic. Maybe this is what all churches should be turned into.